Welcome to Summer Hour Middle School, where we are committed to creating a culture of excellence by working hard and being nice. The being nice part is what we really do focus on. I am Dorothy Parker Jarrett, proud principal of Summer Hour Middle School. This is my 10th year serving the teachers, the students, and the community here in Norcross, Georgia. It has been my pleasure to ensure that our students come to school and receive a high level of education and extended learning opportunities to help them to grow and develop as they are becoming productive citizens of the world. And part of that is Lauren Michaels Harris, the Power of We Symposium. He brought to our students an opportunity to experience something that they never would have had the experience or the opportunity to experience. So please join me as we talk a little bit more about this incredible Power of We Symposium that Lauren Michaels Harris brought to Summer Hour Middle School and Gwinnett County Public Schools this past May. Well, that Lauren Michaels Harris guy, he's pretty awesome and very convincing. I had an opportunity to hear him speak for the chamber here in the Gwinnett County area, and his message of overcoming adversity and the impact that he had on so many young people's lives. I, being principal of a middle school that is approximately 90% free and reduced lunch, which is a high indicator of poverty, I work with lots of students who have lots of adversity in their lives that they must overcome. And after hearing Lauren speak and looking him up, just making sure he was who he said he was, and he indeed was that and more, I just was compelled to look at that Chicago symposium that he had recently completed, and it was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here in Gwinnett County. And Lauren and I started talking about it. So it was truly, I was compelled by the work that Lauren had done in the past, and I was able to look at some testimonials of how much of an impact it had on the young people that he had had the symposium for in Chicago. So one of the things that we did was to share with them some clips from the previous symposium that was done in Chicago. We also showed them some clips of Lauren Michaels Harris speaking to audiences and some of the other speakers that had been involved in Chicago. With that being said, we then shared with them the speakers who were going to be coming to Atlanta, gave them some clips on some speaking that they had done, and it really helped the kids to get focused in on just how powerful of an event they were going to have. Now, let me just be perfectly honest. It certainly didn't hurt that they were going to be riding to this event in luxury buses, and it certainly didn't hurt that they were going to be going to the Biltmore, which none of them have ever been to before, and it certainly didn't hurt that we informed them that they would be receiving a catered lunch as well. So all of these things kind of help to excite the kids about this extended learning opportunity. We here at Summer Hour, we prefer to talk about extended learning opportunities as opposed to field trips. This indeed was an extended learning opportunity for them to see other people who had overcome adversities and to experience something that they had never experienced before. So it truly was fun getting them excited about what to expect attending this Atlanta symposium. Well, first of all, I was very excited about that topic, how I plan to change the world, because when we can get our students at an early age thinking about others and how they can do something that's impactful, that is always a great win. So through our English language arts classes, the teachers had the students do a gallery walk, and what that means is throughout the room there are stories of young people who have made a difference in the world. Young people like Anne Frank, like Malala, who was an advocate for female education, a Pakistania, and she was the youngest Nobel Prize winner. Also people like Ruby Bridges, who was the catalyst for desegregating the schools in New Orleans. And then, of course, Boyan Slat, who's a Dutch inventor, young guy. So they had an opportunity to immerse themselves in learning about other young people throughout the world who had done things to make a difference. So once they did that gallery walk to activate their knowledge about other young folks who had made a difference in the world, they then were giving a prompt to write how they plan to change the world. So we got them really excited about these other young people, and then they wanted to talk about how they could change the world. The one that resonated with me the most was Misty Layne. Misty was a beauty queen who got caught up in a life of cocaine addiction. And the journey that she went through was incredible. I could relate to it because of my first career being in the music industry, and I was the advertising director, and I worked so much with these young stars who got a lot of money and then got into the wrong kind of crowd, and it just can happen so quickly. I spent a lot of part of my job trying to help people to get back on track, and to see Misty and the journey that she had with this addiction, the kids were just mesmerized with her story. And to top it off, her son, who was very much the age or just a little bit older than these middle schoolers, spoke about his experience being the son of an addicted mother. Many of my students could relate to that as they do have issues in their lives as well that they're dealing with. And this kind of brought it home to me on just how powerful this symposium was for my 250 middle schoolers. Well, you know, earlier I said the most memorable moment for me was Misty Layne's whole story. I think this Melanie Ramos in the investor part is just equally as memorable because it was something that was an immediate response to a great idea, and it was like the stars were aligned, and then Melanie read her essay. And here is this investor who hears her essay and understands the importance of what she is trying to do in terms of changing the world. For her to immediately have someone who is in a position to support her idea, it was just powerful. And I mean, I don't know, Lauren is talking on a radio show about the essays, and there's someone who hears him on the radio show and hears something about this essay that this student wrote, and they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful. So, words of encouragement for any other school district that might be interested in inviting the Power of We in. I say just make sure that you start that planning early. And I know for us here in Gwinnett County, the months of April and May there's so much standardized testing that it's very difficult to find a time when kids aren't either preparing for an assessment or just taking an assessment. So start early and perhaps take a look at dates prior to spring break, because after spring break, it's like on in terms of standardized testing. But it certainly is worth your looking into bringing these powerful speakers in that relate to students and the adversities that they're facing in the world today. It is just a different world that our young people are coming up in today, especially knowing that, you know, this is a first generation that television is not their primary source of entertainment. They all have handheld devices, and they are learning so much more, so much faster, that we have to be able to address some of the things that they are learning that they need to hear more truth about. And that's what these speakers, and when they come to the Power of We, it's about the truth of adversities overcome and how those adversities have been overcome. So it definitely looking at all of those aspects of the early planning for a symposium and getting more of the business community involved with it as well. Well, you know what? The power of we to the middle school student and their ability to dream big. Dreaming big is what I'm all about. I believe the sky is the limit, and I really promote that with my students here at Summer Hour Middle School. You know, preparation is the key for being able to take advantage of opportunities. And when you dream big and you look at, begin with the end in mind, where do you want to be? And so what are the steps to backtrack to get to where you want to be? Begin with the end in mind. So have it a big dream, because when you dream big, you can't do anything but be successful as you reach those milestones in your life. So for middle schoolers to have an opportunity to see what it means to dream big and to be able to experience those folks who did dream big and the successes that they have accomplished, it's just so important at that developmental stage of middle schoolers, the growth and development, to know and to be able to look at people who look like them and see that they have overcome adversities that will encourage those young folks to dream big, because possibilities, all you have to do is work hard, stay focused, and reach those big dreams.